I created Boundaries to Bliss because so many women were exhausted from being everything to everyone. Welcome to day 27. I'm Dr. Nicole, and today I'm sharing the origin story behind Boundaries to Bliss, my signature framework for feminine emotional freedom. This isn't just a business story. This is the story of how I went from being a burnt out woman who couldn't say no to anyone to creating a system that's helped thousands of women reclaim their softness, their peace, and their power. If you've ever wondered why I'm so passionate about boundaries and feminine energy, today you'll understand that. The story of Boundaries to Bliss started with a pattern I kept seeing in my psychology practice, in my personal life, and honestly, right in the mirror. Women everywhere were burnt out, not just tired, completely depleted. They were running on empty and calling it strength. They were resentful, angry at their partners, their families, their friends, but unable to articulate why. They felt taken for granted, unappreciated, like they were giving everything and receiving nothing. They were overgiving to the point of self abandonment, saying yes to everything, taking care of everyone else's needs while completely ignoring their own. They were disconnected from their softness. These beautiful feminine women had become hard, tense, and defensive because they felt like they had to protect themselves from a world that was constantly taking from them. And they were afraid to say no, terrified that if they set boundaries, people would leave, convinced that their worth was tied to their availability, their helpfulness, their willingness to sacrifice themselves for others. I saw this in my clients, successful women who had everything they thought they wanted but felt empty inside. I saw it in my friends, amazing mothers and wives who were drowning in their own lives. I saw it in myself, a psychologist who knew better but was still living like my needs didn't matter. And I realized that all of these women had the same core problem. They didn't know how to protect their energy, their peace, or their feminine essence. The turning point for me came during one of the most challenging periods of my life. I was juggling motherhood with young children, building my psychology practice, and trying to be the perfect wife, mother, daughter, and friend. I was saying yes to every request, every invitation, every opportunity to help someone else. I was the woman everyone called when they needed something because they knew I would never say no, and they knew I would show up. But inside, I was dying. I remember one particular evening. I had just finished a full day of seeing clients, picked up the kids, helped with their homework, and as I was putting them to bed, it was 10 p.m. and I was sitting at my kitchen table trying to finish notes for my clients while also preparing for a presentation the next day. My husband asked if I was okay, and I just started crying. Not because anything was wrong, but because I realized I had completely lost myself in the process of taking care of everyone else, including professionally. I was living in constant masculine energy, doing, fixing, managing, controlling. I had forgotten what it felt like to be soft, to just be present in my own life. That night, I made a decision that changed everything. I decided that I was going to learn how to set boundaries without guilt, how to say no without explanation, and how to reclaim my feminine energy without sacrificing my goals. But here's what I discovered: there wasn't a framework that addressed both boundaries and femininity. Most boundary work was very masculine, aggressive, defensive, and hard. And most femininity work ignored the practical reality that women need strong boundaries to protect their softness. So I created my own system. I combined my psychology training with my personal journey and my understanding of feminine energy to develop what became Boundaries to Bliss. Boundaries to Bliss isn't just about saying no, it's about creating a life that loves you back. The framework is built on 5 pillars: ease, learning to move through life with grace instead of force, flow instead of friction, understanding that you don't have to struggle to be successful, emotional safety, creating internal and external environments where your emotions are honored, where you feel safe to be vulnerable, where you can express your needs without fear. Feminine identity, reclaiming your softness, your intuition, your natural feminine wisdom. Understanding that being feminine is a source of power, not weakness. Relationship clarity, learning to communicate your needs, set healthy limits, and create relationships that are mutually nourishing instead of one sided. Wellness, understanding that your physical, mental, and emotional well being are not luxuries, they're necessities for living a fulfilling life. When women master these 5 areas, something magical happens. They stop feeling guilty about their needs. They stop apologizing for taking up space. They stop sacrificing themselves for others' comfort. They become soft but boundaried, gentle but strong, feminine but powerful. They create lives that feel good from the inside out, relationships that nourish them, and a sense of peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. What I've learned over the years is that when a woman heals her relationship with boundaries and reclaims her feminine energy, it doesn't just change her life, it changes everyone around her. Her children learn what healthy self respect looks like. Her partner learns to step up because she's no longer doing everything. Her friends learn that they can have boundaries too. She becomes a model for what's possible when women stop abandoning themselves and start honoring themselves. This is why Boundaries to Bliss has become my life's work, because I believe that healed women heal the world. I believe that when women are living in their full power, both their feminine softness and their boundaried strength, they create ripple effects that transform families, communities, and cultures. Every woman who finds this work is ready for something different. She's tired of the old way of being. She's ready to stop proving her worth through exhaustion. She's ready to reclaim her softness without losing her strength. If that's you, if you are ready to create a life that feels as good as it looks, if you're ready to stop abandoning yourself for others' comfort, this work is for you. Boundaries to Bliss isn't just a framework, it's an entire way of life. It's choosing yourself without guilt. It's loving others without losing yourself. It's being soft in a hard world without becoming hard yourself. This is my life's work, helping women remember that they can be both soft and strong, both loving and boundaried, both feminine and powerful. If this resonates with you, if you want to learn more about the Boundaries to Bliss framework and the Boundaries to Bliss Society, check out the link in the description. Make sure you hit subscribe for day 28, where we're doing the Feminine Reset, a mini workshop to help you recalibrate your energy. Tell me in the comments, what's one area of your life where you need more boundaries to protect your bliss? I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Dr. Nicole.